A question too.
Go ahead.
Your project's called Columbia River Crossing. Why isn't it called the I-5 corridor or interstate bridge replacement? It seems vague and something that the public can't readily identify with. I mean, you've got Biggs, you've got Rainier, you've got a ferry that goes from Camp Lambert to Clatskanie. Why aren't we more specific here?
Well, first of all, we're not presuming that we are actually replacing the current interstate bridges. What we heard from the I-5 strategic plan is that we need to expand capacity across the river. And in the strategic plan, there are a number of conceptual drawings for how that could be done, only one of which physically replaces the current Interstate 5 bridges and replaces them completely with a new facility. The other concepts that the strategic plan put forward actually recycle the current facilities. One of those bridges was built in 1917 and is on the National Register. The other one was built in 1958, and in 3 years it will be old enough to qualify for the National Register. And we have already heard from some people in the community that these are historic resources that they don't want to see torn out, that they want to see preserved. So I think as we move forward into this process, we will be defining the project. Now, initially we did have the I-5 Columbia River Crossing as the project name. At some point we thought that that sounded redundant, and so we just went to Columbia River Crossing. And we can revisit it if you think that we're confusing people. But I think as we roll this out, I think people will clearly understand what it is that we're grappling with and the issues that we're going to try to address. Well, during scoping, it's very possible that the community is going to come to us and say, we want to look at a third corridor. And in fact, in our preliminary conversations with the Federal Highway Administration, they have told us that they will expect us to look at a new corridor in addition to the two, I-205 and I-5, that currently exist. And so those will appear in scoping, and we will have to analyze those and deal with those. That's not to say that there's, well, we will need new information than existed 3 years ago, shall we say, 4 years ago, when the I-5 partnership was doing its work, to come to, I think, a different conclusion than they did. But we will look for that new information during scoping.